What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be reviewing the Burton AKs. So Burton AK is one of their higher end models if you're not familiar. It's supposedly the Alaska edition, which means they're made with Gore-tex to be Gore-tex to be as lightweight but waterproof and breathable as possible. And I'm gonna go into my review of using them for a few years at this point. So this pair is a little dated. I don't know what year I got these, but as you can see, they're holding up pretty well. So after using these, some things I'll try to answer in this video is what they're useful for, if they're worth the money, pros and cons, etc. So off the bat, they just look nice, a nice tan, they have a nice texture, a good design. There's tons of pockets. We got maybe two main pockets here, as expected, two side pockets for passes and whatnot, and then I think that's it. We got two big zippers that let you open up, two big vents. That's it. Nothing too crazy in this department, rather simple, but they do work very nice. These side pockets aren't huge, but they're big enough to store like your car keys, your ski pass, your regular pockets for gloves, or not gloves, phones, whatnot. Got a little pass holder. Not too radically different in that department, but where these shine is in the performance. So these, from my experience, are close to what they say as far as advertising. They are very waterproof, they are breathable, and they're very light, and they allow for great movement. So I'll elaborate on all of that a little bit more. So they are very waterproof, especially in dry environments. That is very key. So they will bead snow off and it won't melt, and if it does, it won't penetrate and get you wet the majority of the time. The only exception is in a soaking rain. They will begin to pick up moisture after a few hours, or an hour or two, and then they'll start to slowly seep through after an hour or two or three. It does take a while, maybe 2-3 hours, or extremely wet East Coast snow. That's where I tested these a lot, and they will leak through eventually, so they're not like completely waterproof, but they're extremely water resistant. I mean, if you're skiing in the rain and they last that long, I mean, that's impressive to me. But in regular, snow conditions, especially if you're out west in any dry environment, they do work really well at keeping you dry. So breathability is the next thing they really harp on with these, and they are very breathable and comfortable. They block the wind. They do not let wind through like at all, which is nice, but they can breathe a bit, which is one of those unicorn like things. The only time they don't breathe is when they get wet, like real wet, like rained on wet. Then they start to become heavy, and they do not breathe very well, and you start to overheat. So that's one of the caveats, is they're not quite as, they do start to suffer in extremely wet conditions. They're still better than like 99% of everything, but or 90% of everything else, but they're not waterproof and the best in every condition. As an overall, they're really great. They're great to travel with because they're light. They'll work in any conditions, like I said, except for pouring down rain. I mean, they will work. They're a lot more waterproof than other things, but they're not probably the most waterproof out there. But anything that's more waterproof than these is not gonna breathe, like, at all. So, it's coming to a conclusion. Are they worth the money? I would say it depends what you're going to be using it for. If you don't ski that much, probably not. If you ski a lot and you do a lot of like backcountry tours or mountaineering or anything like that, they definitely could be. One more thing to talk about is that they're rather durable, but on sharp surfaces like ski boots and stuff, they'll start to scrape through. So I would not recommend these for like bushwhacking. They'll wear out way faster if you're going to be using these, especially in any places with thorns. It'll poke a hole and you'll have a big problem. It's actually, because they're so light, it's kind of like a really thin a very thin layer of waterproofing, and it could get cut pretty easily. Oftentimes I think of it as wearing like a thick trash bag that breathes. So as you can think, maybe not quite that thin, but these will not hold up to a lot of spikes, thorns, tree bushwhacking. So yeah, that's another concern. But besides that, are they worth it? If you get them on a deal, I'd say they're definitely worth it. If you ski a lot, definitely worth it. And if you plan on going, backcountry, or you want something really light that's going to perform well, I would say they're worth it. They were worth it to me. I got these at a steep discount or 50% off, and they've lasted me a long time. As long as you take care of them, they will last you years and years, and I haven't seen too much of a decrease in the waterproofing, so I've been very happy with these. So that's my review of the Burton AK pants series, but the jackets and everything are going to be all similar. So hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. I'm going to be trying to do more of these gear reviews, so if there's anything you want to see reviewed, feel free to drop it down below. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys out there on the mountain.